working together at the same location in the process of moving, it helped out a lot. So we got this job working in a hotel manager. So we managed everything, like supervisor, manager, everything. We had all kinds of titles over there. But anyways, so one day, one of the rooms, I had to go check one of the rooms to make sure that the housekeeper came and cleaned up and everything after the people left, to make sure it was ready to get rented out. So I could tell the employees, this room is available, go ahead and rent it out. So we go in there, and one of the rooms is kind of like a suite. It has a room with a TV and a couch and everything, and then a different room, but it doesn't have a door, a different room when you go in, and that's where the bed and another TV is at. So my husband and I are checking out the room, and we go into the bedroom, and we want to make sure that everything is okay in that room. Normally, like, we do a quick sweep after the housekeeper leaves to make sure there's nothing left behind. If they didn't do a good job, then I had to call it back for them to redo the whole room. So we're in the room, and all of a sudden the TV in the front room, the living room I call it, turns on by itself. We're like, what the fuck? So we thought that somebody came in, but the door was shut. The front door was shut. So my husband and I both peeked our heads through, and sure enough, the TV's on. And I was like, oh fuck, don't tell me this place is haunted too. Now, the reason why I didn't know it was haunted at the time is because we had just gotten our job, like, not too long ago. And we were just in and out, in and out. We didn't normally stay there that long, you know what I mean? Just taking care of business and leaving. So, my husband looks at me and he's like, this place is haunted. I was like, fuck me. Don't tell me. Like, there hasn't been a place where I haven't gone where a spirit hasn't tried to communicate with me. But my workplace, come on. You know what I mean? So, we're like, whatever. My husband said, if there's a spirit in this room, show yourself. And of course, they don't show themselves at the time. Then we said, and then I had an idea, and I said, okay, well, if there's a spirit in this room and you're being a coward and not wanting to show yourself, turn the volume up all the way. Sure enough, the volume goes up all the way. And my husband and I are looking at each other. I'm like, okay, I'm not dealing with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have plans, I have things scheduled, I have clients to see. I'm not doing it, because I was still seeing clients. I've been seeing clients for a long time for readings and hauntings and things like that. So anything that has to do with the paranormal. And I've been doing this for years. So I was like, oh, I don't feel like doing this. I don't want to deal with it. And my husband's like, I'm going to test it one more time. If there's a spirit in this room, turn the volume all the way down. Sure enough, the volume goes all the way down by itself. The remote control is like right there at the table where the couch is at, okay? Goes down by itself, and the TV turns off by itself. I'm like, all right, I'm done. I'm done with this room. Like, I don't play games. When spirits want to communicate, I always give them a chance to, whether they're good or bad, it doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter, because even the dark ones like to relate messages, and I like to find out what their agenda is for being in a certain location and haunting and stuff. So, it doesn't really matter who I communicate with or who communicates with me. I just want to get their side of the story to find out what the fuck they want and why they're still there. So, to me, I wasn't going to waste my time at that, with that room, with that spirit. I was just like, if you don't want to show yourself, I gave you a chance and opportunity to talk to me. You don't want to fucking do it. You want to hide. Bye. I'm gone. I don't waste my time on it. Especially not, I'm not getting paid to deal with spirits. I was getting paid to be a manager at that location. So that was one of our other experiences. Another one is we moved to Lancaster, California. And before we got a house, we got a 2-bedroom apartment. In the beginning, when my husband and I first got together. Remember I told you we were in the process of moving. So we moved to Lancaster. And we had gotten a big, beautiful apartment on the second floor. 2-bedroom apartment with a fireplace. I mean, it was just beautiful. So one of the rooms, I'm like, okay, good. It could be my office. I could use it for my office. So we weren't there too long when I got a little puppy. and I think I mentioned this story on my radio show, along with the possession story. I think I've mentioned it on my radio show too. That happened to my husband in that house. So, anyways, apparently spirits, either I get lucky to move into haunted locations, or spirits just follow me, attached to me. I mean, I'm used to the attachments. I just get rid of them. But we moved there, and not too long after we moved there, a couple of weeks later, I get a puppy, a cute little tiny chihuahua about that big. Not even a pound. Like, it was just a little tiny thing. And, it was gray and white, and it was cute. So, one morning, my husband goes outside, comes back in. He's getting ready to go to work, like always. Comes back in, and that's it. And so I wake up, and I'm looking for my dog so I could feed my dog. Like, normally when my dog used to hear me pouring food in its bowl, it would come running out no matter where it was sleeping or hiding or whatever. And it was so tiny, it used to hide everywhere. But the one thing that my dog could not do is escape. Could not escape the house. That particular morning, my dog disappeared. Now, when my husband left in the morning and came back up, he went to get the mail, because I was expecting something important. And the night before, when we got home from work, I was just too exhausted to open the mail. So he's like, I'll just go do it real quick before I go to work. I said, okay, cool. So he goes and comes upstairs, and I'm laying in bed. I'm not asleep, I'm laying in bed. And my puppy is above my head on my pillow, just curled up, sleeping. When I got up and went to the other room, after he came home, and I shut the door. Now, we had a balcony. The balcony never opened. We didn't use the balcony for anything, so the door was always locked. The windows are locked. My dog can't open doors and windows, obviously. And everything's shut and sealed and tight. And I go to pour the food in a bowl, and my dog is not running to me. And I said, what the hell's going on? Why isn't my dog coming? So I started calling for my dog. And my husband's like, what's going on? And I said, I can't find my dog anywhere. Where is he? Here we go. We're searching the closets, the bathrooms, the bedrooms, the kitchen, under the table, inside the bottom cupboards. Because it's a little thing. It could hide anywhere. Turn the whole house upside down, and I couldn't find my dog. I was like, something's going on. So, I said, you know what? Let's go downstairs. I don't know how it could be possible. There was no way possible. But I said, let's go downstairs. I have some pictures of my dog. I'm going to go show around and see if anybody might have seen it outside maybe. But again, I know in the back of my head, there's no way that my dog could have left the house. So we lock the door and we leave. About 10 minutes later, we come back up. All the water in my house is on. And it's hot water. Hot water in the kitchen sink is on. Hot water in both bathrooms are on. The shower and both sinks in the bathrooms. Hot water. It was steaming in the bathrooms. Like, the windows were, the mirrors were steaming. I'm like, what the fuck? So we turned the water off and everything. And I said, I'm not giving up. I want my dog. And I knew that something, paranormal was going on in that house. I just hadn't figured it out yet because I've been so busy with my own thing. I didn't have time to, it just slipped my mind. Like, that's where I live. And, me dealing with the paranormal, like, some things are just normal to me now. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't scare me. So we end up going back down again. I said, let's go down one more time before you have to go to work. Let's go down one more time. Let's check the building. Let's check the premises. I want my dog. Like, literally, I was about to burst into tears. I wanted my dog. I was freaking out. Again, we lock the door. We go down. We come back up. Unlock the door. Go in the house. All the water's on. Okay. And on top of that, this time, my ceiling fan in my dining room was on and the light was on. And I was like, motherfuckers took my dog. The fucking whatever demonic entities that were there took my dog, and they let me know that it was them. And they were like trying to manipulate me. They let me know it was them. Jokes on them. Until today, they kept my dog. I don't know what they did with my dog, but my dog is nowhere to be found. I still haven't found my dog till today, and it's been 15 years now, 14, 15 years. And I was like, you know what? Jokes on them, because I ended up casting them out and closing all the portals that were open in the house. Well, actually, there was one portal open in the house, but I ended up casting the demons out, and after that, there was no activities, but I didn't want to stay there anymore, and, we were getting ready to move, and I said, I want to move out of state. I'm tired of staying in California. California is like my home, was my home, and I've been there all my life, and I was like, I'm done. I want to move. So that's when we decided to move to Vegas, and then we had that experience in that house. So, everywhere that I go, there's experiences, and sometimes, like when I go to the store or when I go, we go out to eat. And my husband did mention this in one of my radio shows when he was in my show with me, and we were getting interviewed. He didn't mention that we don't have a normal life, meaning normal life, I don't. Because everywhere I go that I see spirits, they try to communicate with me and stuff. And then sometimes they're like, well, how do you deal with it? Like if they come to send you a message or give you a message to tell somebody that's there at the moment, like in the store or in the restaurant, how do you deal with it? Do you tell them? Do you not tell them? And I said, yeah, I do tell them. Some think I may think I'm crazy, some not. But the messages that I relate to them, like, it's so dead on that even I turned skeptics into believers. Because I did run into a couple of them that looked at me like, lady, you're crazy. You're talking to the dead. And I'm like, no, they're talking to me. You know what I mean? I'm not talking to them. They're talking to me. They're communicating with me. So they do end up, I relate messages all the time from the dead to the living and their loved ones. One last story. We went to eat in a restaurant, my husband and I, one day. And, to have lunch before we go back to work, because I had some appointments. This was just a few months ago. And we ended up, our waitress, she was a lovely lady. She was such a sweetheart. So she came and she took our orders. She goes back to, bring our drinks before our food's ready. And all of a sudden I see a guy next to her. A guy next to her, young guy. So I knew that it was, a brother, some kind of a relationship they had or whatnot. So then the spirit looks at me and I asked, and I said, are you her brother? And he says, yes. Just tell her that I'm with her. I'm like, okay. My husband's like, uh-oh, not again. I said, yep, again. So I end up, when the waitress comes, I said, there's something I want to tell you. Don't think I'm crazy. I said, there's something I want to tell you. Don't think I'm crazy. But I see spirits. I communicate with them. And there was one that's right next to you that appeared, as you were walking away to get our drinks. And it's your brother. Did you lose a brother? And she looked at me and she's like, yes. When we were kids, she had a younger brother. Right when she was born. An older brother. She's the young one. When she was born, he passed away. And he passed away very young. Now, this guy that I saw was like maybe in his 20s. So yeah, spirits do, grow in their realm as well. Some do, some don't, depending. That's a different video. I'll make a video and explain more details of what happens in the spiritual realm and how it happens. But as far as the lady, she was shocked, but at the same time, she had a big smile on her face. And she said, is he okay? And I said, yeah, he just wanted me to tell you that he's always with you. That's it. And she thanked me like 100 times throughout the whole time that I was there. We were there sitting down eating, and she kept coming to my table a lot more than she would go to other tables. I noticed, are you guys okay? Is everything good? Do you guys need something? Let me know, blah, blah, blah. So right before we left, she gave me a hug and she's like, thank you so much. Like, that's that's the best gift anyone could ever give me, because, you know, she never really knew her brother. I mean, she was a baby when he died. So she said to know that he's with me, you know, it's a good, warm feeling. And she just, you know, she got closure. So I thought that was really nice. So that's my stories. I have a lot more. I might decide to do a video later on it, on a couple of more other stories. But that's some of the things that have happened. I know the first story I said was really scary. And the reason why we left is because it was just too much. And I had just had my son. You know, I got pregnant living in that house, and I had just had my son. And throughout my pregnancy and after, you know, having my son, having, you know, 3 little ones now, I was just too busy with the kids, too busy with my work, too busy with my family and everything else. And I just did not want to deal with the demons in the house. Like, I did not have time for them. So I left. That's why I do what I do outside of my house. I go to locations that are haunted. If you guys need spiritual readings, I do spiritual readings over the phone. As well as, you know, I could come to your home, or you can come to me, doesn't matter, or I could do it over the phone. My kids are grown and they're old enough now, like, they know what I'm doing, and they know when mom is at work or mom's working with somebody, she's working. So they don't bug me. So that's a good thing. They understand. But, you know, back then they were just too little, and then they needed my attention. They don't need my attention so much now. So it's easier for me to do what I'm doing, that I've been doing all my life, and I'm not going to stop doing it. So again, if you guys need any spiritual readings to connect to a loved one, you know, feel free to contact me, monicaspiritqueen@yahoo.com, my email, as well as if you have a haunting. Again, I could, you know, do a quick scan, a quick reading over the phone, and find out if there's a haunting, who it is, blah, 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 and then help you get rid of whatever's haunting you and close the portals. I do house cleansings as well. I'm also a spiritual healer and a mentor. So anything that has to do with the paranormal, feel free to contact me anytime. Anyways, I got to get going. Love you guys. God bless. Be safe. And once again, monicaspiritqueen@yahoo.com. Contact me for anything paranormal, and I will be happy to help you guys. Take care. Bye.